Bianca Belair has sent out a stern warning ahead of her triple threat match at Crown Jewel 2021. The former SmackDown Women's Champion reiterated her statements from Friday's show. On Friday Night SmackDown, Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch had an official contract signing ahead of their Crown Jewel 2021 match. In typical WWE fashion, the contract signing segment ended with a superstar being put through a table. Belair once again showcased her immense strength and lifted both women on her shoulders. The EST then KO'd Lynch and into Banks through the table. She was giving a preview of what was to come at Crown Jewel. In the aftermath of Friday Night SmackDown, Bianca Belair took to Twitter to retweet WWE's tweet. "No lies told, I did not come to play," Bianca wrote. WWE Crown Jewel 2021 is scheduled to take place on October 21, 2021, in Saudi Arabia. WWE has a star-studded lineup this year, with Roman Reigns vs. Brock Lesnar headlining the event. Lynch's title defense against Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks will be one of the most exciting matches to watch out for at the event. If Belair wins, she will become a two-time WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. However, Belair and Lynch were both drafted to Raw and Raw's Women's Champion Charlotte was drafted to SmackDown, with the draft coming into effect right after Crown Jewel. It would be interesting to see who takes the title home. Who do you think will take home the gold? Let us know in the comments below. Roman Reigns is up there with WWE legend John Cena as a major merchandise mover. Paul Davis of Wrestling News Co. recently learned from WWE sources that management is extremely happy with Reigns' heel run. He was also told that the Tribal Chief is a top merch seller. Sources stated that Roman Reigns has surpassed every heel in the company's history when it comes to the amount of merch sold. Another source told Davis that Reigns' merchandise sales are hitting John Cena levels. The latter was a big name during the Ruthless Aggression era and the PG era, and was pushed as a mega babyface during his run on the top. It's quite impressive that Reigns has been able to achieve numbers similar to that of Cena, considering the fact that he's a top heel. Roman Reigns turned heel at SummerSlam 2020 by putting down The Fiend and Braun Strowman in ruthless fashion. He later won the Universal title by defeating the two men at Payback 2020. He has his own stable named The Bloodline on SmackDown. The group consists of Reigns himself, his special counsel Paul Heyman, and the Usos. Dubbed the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns has defeated some of the biggest names in WWE history during his run as Universal Champion. His most dominant victory came at the Show of Shows, WrestleMania 37. He pinned Edge and Daniel Bryan to retain his title at the event. At SummerSlam 2021, Reigns pinned 16-time world champion John Cena to firmly establish himself as the top guy. Previously, he had defeated Cena in their 2017 No Mercy battle as well. Roman Reigns is all set to face his arch-rival Brock Lesnar at the upcoming Crown Jewel event in Saudi Arabia. He is at the top of his game while Lesnar is looking scarier and more intimidating than ever. If Reigns manages to beat the Beast incarnate, it won't be a stretch to call him the most dominant star of the modern era. What do you think of Roman Reigns' merchandise sales matching that of John Cena? Are you enjoying his heel run? WWE Women's SmackDown Champion Becky Lynch has given her honest opinion to WWE's new 3D graphic. The man is typically someone who doesn't like to hold back from expressing her views and ideas, and this time she has done the same regarding a big-time Bex graphic from SmackDown. The graphic from Friday night caught the attention of several members of the WWE universe from all around the world. Fans took to Twitter to send out several comedic reactions. Meanwhile, Becky Lynch herself replied hilariously with an image of her own awkward thumbs-up pose. The man's awkward thumbs-up image has caught the attention of wrestling fans and emerged as another incredible meme from the pro wrestling world. Here's the tweet from Becky Lynch in response to her graphic from SmackDown. Crown Jewel will be held on October 21st, where Lynch will put her SmackDown Women's title on the line against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair in a triple threat match. Lynch won the title from Belair at this year's SummerSlam pay-per-view in shocking fashion. Within a few seconds of the former's return to WWE TV, she was hoisting the gold. In the lead-up to Crown Jewel, the man will face Banks next week in the supersized version of SmackDown. If done correctly, the Becky vs. Bianca rivalry could be a great storyline for WWE in the weeks and months ahead as we roll towards the end of the year. Throwing Banks into the mix only makes things more intriguing, as she and Lynch have a long and storied past. While it remains a bit unclear as to how things will unfold in the aftermath of WWE Draft 2021, Becky Lynch has been drafted to Monday Night Raw, while still being the SmackDown Women's Champion. Whereas, this year's Crown Jewel event looks stacked, with the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns defending his Universal title against the Beast, Brock Lesnar. The veteran Edge will face Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match, and the finals of the King of the Ring tournament and the Queen's Crown tournament will also take place. It should make for an interesting event, with so many storylines swirling in the wind for WWE right now. What do you think about Becky Lynch's current reign as the SmackDown Women's Champion? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Brock Lesnar is set to challenge Universal Champion Roman Reigns for his title at Crown Jewel 2021 later this month. However, the WWE Universe might not see the Beast incarnate back on television after that for a while. According to a report by WrestlingNews.co, Lesnar is not scheduled for any WWE show this year after his match at the pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia. This could be a potential spoiler that he won't be winning the Universal title from Reigns at the upcoming event. The report further adds that Brock Lesnar is next scheduled to wrestle at the 2022 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. It is not yet known whether he'll be entering the annual over-the-top rope match. After being away from WWE programming for over 16 months, Lesnar returned at SummerSlam 2021 earlier this year. Now with a new ponytail look and a beard, he confronted Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman as fans broke into a huge pop for him. His title feud with Reigns on SmackDown so far has been extremely entertaining and fans can't wait to see what the two stars have in store for them in the coming weeks. WWE has announced a supersized edition of Friday Night SmackDown next week as the show will air on FS1 and will be 2.5 hours long. Due to this, the Blue brand will be going head-to-head against AEW Rampage, which usually starts immediately after SmackDown ends. With this being the Blue brand's first head-to-head battle against any all-elite wrestling show, WWE has announced a massive lineup for the show next week. This includes an appearance from Brock Lesnar. While the details of his appearance have not been revealed, fans can expect to see a face-off, or even an all-out brawl between him and Reigns ahead of their Universal Championship match at Crown Jewel. Comment down and let us know your thoughts on Brock Lesnar's current run as a babyface in WWE. WWE has struck gold with the Roman Reigns vs. Brock Lesnar storyline. The X factor here is currently wrestling's greatest manager, Paul Heyman. His ability to put almost anyone over has immensely benefited both Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar in their respective careers. The awkward triangle of loyalty between Heyman, Reigns, and Lesnar has been WWE's best angle in a long time. It doesn't hurt that Reigns has come into his own as a heel under Heyman's watch. There's no denying that Roman's run as the Tribal Chief has been the best run he's had in his WWE career. After years of failing as a babyface, his edgier, intense style has added depth to his character, and Heyman has been a huge part of that. However, recent events have teased a huge swerve as Reigns constantly questions Heyman's loyalty to the Beast. It's made for some great TV, and all parties involved have been playing things close to the vest to keep the audience interested. What's made this angle great is that it has everyone talking and speculating about how it might play out. On this week's edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Smack Talk, wrestler and booker Dutch Mantell predicted Heyman costing Reigns the title, and, ultimately, realigning with Lesnar will be great for business. Roman's almost like a babyface on his own. If they put the title on Brock, it's gotta be with the swerve with Heyman. I think a big swerve is coming, and I think Heyman turning on Roman Reigns will be a good one because I think Roman is almost there, and he could get a heel to work with for a while. You gotta have heels. If you don't have heels, your babyfaces are dead, Mantell told Sportskeeda's Rick Ucchino and Sid Polar. There's talk that the Reigns and Lesnar storyline, no matter the finish at Crown Jewel, will continue for the long term, possibly even through next year's WrestleMania. If Mantell's prediction is correct, it sets up great scenarios with Reigns and his family feuding against Heyman and Lesnar in an ultimate war to settle the score. This is easily the best thing WWE has going on right now. Two terrific athletes and decorated champions heading for a fantastic finish, with their mutual mentor likely the one who will decide their fate in the end. Who do you think will walk out of WWE Crown Jewel as the Universal Champion? Share your thoughts in the comments section below.